Welcome to Echoes of Impact with Noura. This is your host, Noura Almasri. Welcome to the show. We are officially on quarter four, guys. So, quarter four, we're ending the year. And in your business, there's a lot of work you have to do in quarter four. Are you prepared to do the work? Or are you planning to take the last 6, 8 weeks off, saying that no one's gonna purchase my stuff, no one's going to engage, no one has time because everyone is doing something with family, taking break with holidays and everything? Are you that person? Or are you the person who is taking advantage of a lot of people are sleeping and taking vacations and celebrating the holiday without doing any work, without having any plan in place? So which person are you? I'm not saying here you should not take your holidays. Of course, enjoy your holidays, enjoy the time with family, whatever you want to do during the holidays, do that. But you also don't want to forget about what results you can get during that time, because this is a time of the year where you can win big. This is what's going to set you up for success or loss for the upcoming year. If you end the year correctly, if you're ending the year strong, you're going to start next year even stronger. That's what differentiates between someone who likes to be a winner and someone who doesn't care, just doing their business as a hobby, whatever comes. They listen to what everyone else is saying. Oh, no one is like all these myths, all of these wrong ideas. This is the mindset shift, because a lot of people, they do want to take the break and just forget about their business, and they want to complain. But those who want to win, they don't do that. They start doing a lot of things that's setting them up for success. For example, you had all these wishes, and maybe it can be a wish, it can be a goal. So you had this goals, let's say goals for now, and you said, I'm going to achieve this year, the new year resolution, all of these stuff. But then all of a sudden, what? You end the year without reaching your goal. Because when do you remember to do that? Maybe in January, if you catch that. Or maybe you just like catch yourself in the middle of the year not going even close to your goal, so you forget about it or you got disappointed about it. While winner who wants to win, you go check every time, every month, every week, and especially now, the last quarter, and see where are you at regarding your goal. Where do you want to reach? Like, where do you want to go? Like, are you close getting there, or do you think like you're not going there anymore? Can you still do something to change the result, to end strong, to be closer to your goal? Or were you just saying wishes like everyone else during the year? So that's what you want to think about, because four. Quarter four, you already have like 3 months, even 2 months. It doesn't matter. Even if you're watching this when and it's like only 4 months or not. Well, I'm not counting well today, guys. It's okay. Only 1 month, even few days. It doesn't matter how long do you have. It's a good time to check where you are and think. Ask the question. Ask yourself, how can you make sure you can get the results and get closer to the goal? Let me give you one example. Last year, I went through a lot of drama in my personal life. It's not the place to talk about it right now, but I could have like stayed the victim and say, hey, I cannot reach my goal. I had a number to reach in my business. I wanted to get there. When I checked in the last quarter, I noticed that, okay, I am a little far, and with what I have right now, I cannot really reach my goal. So I asked myself, okay, what can I do? And what I did, I asked my clients who already in my circle, like I didn't do it like for public, just for the people who are my clients and returning clients. I told them, hey, I have this offer for you. You can lock the prices for this year if you pay now for your taxes. And a lot of people took it. And that saves them some money. That saved them some money, like to do for next year. And also helped me reach my goal. And it was amazing. Like I was happy, they were happy, and everything that was was okay for me. Now, you might have another goal, and only you can tell what can you do to reach that goal. And there is no too late. There's always a time. The time is now. Whenever you are hearing this or you want to do this, you start now. Don't say tomorrow. Don't say after an hour. Do something now in order to reach your goal. So tell me, share with me, like, are you a winner or not? Are you planning to be even winning bigger this year or no? One of the things you want to do this right now, like I said, like checking your budget, checking your goals, checking where you are at. Are you doing your bookkeeping? Hopefully you are, because let me tell you guys, bookkeeping is a compliance work, and this is going to help you save in taxes. One more thing a lot of people neglect and don't really know about it is doing tax planning. And when I say tax planning, a lot of people think they have to plan for their taxes by gathering their information. And that is not tax planning. That is preparing for the tax preparation. That is not tax planning. Tax planning is a kind of not really new, like it's been out there all this time, but none of us and doing this, like very few of us do the tax planning. Who does tax planning, you think? Those billionaires, like, who do not pay in taxes. They don't do this just like they don't want to pay in taxes. They use the tax law because the tax law is written in a advantage for the business owner. But you either sit there and complain, or you figure out like how to take advantage of the tax plan. How do you use the tax law on your benefits so you can save in taxes and keep more money in your pocket? That is really important because you want to keep your money under your control. You want to invest in your business, invest in your future, in your retirement, in your kids, everything that's going to benefit you and help you build your empire, if that's what you want to do. I want you to think big if you want to make an impact. And you can make an impact whatever you are doing, business, nonprofit, it doesn't matter. You can build an impact. And in order to build an impact, you really need to have money. You really need to be wealthy. So money is important because that's power. And the problem is you can generate money, you have money, but you're losing your money because you're not doing the right thing. You're not doing tax planning. Tax planning is going to help you keep more money in your pocket. Now, you might say, okay, well, it is expensive. Of course, it's not expensive. It is a value adding service. So of course it's not going to be like tax preparation because it's going to take a good tax plan takes a lot of analysis. A good tax plan dig down into your personal and business life and all possibility and gives you all possibility that you can take advantage of. The sooner you do it, the better it's going to be, because simply you can implement. You have time to implement, because just the tax plan without implementation is not going to do anything. You just have a vision and you know what are you going to do and what should you do. But if you don't really actually do it, it's not going to do any good. It's not going to save you money, of course, right? So I want you to think about it and learn more about it. Tax planning is really the key to save more in your from your money and use it to build your empire, to be powerful, to be strong, to support whoever you want to support, and to be heard. So if you want people to hear you in all level, you need to be wealthy. You need to start thinking about your money and have a plan to save most of the money possible legally, guys. So don't go like hiding your hiding your income. This is going to take you to jail, and we're not here to go to the jail. We are here to talk about legally how can you avoid paying unnecessary taxes, or the law is there for you to save on that. So make sure you do it legally, and to do that you need to talk to a tax professional. Hopefully it's an enrolled agent, maybe a CPA if they are if they are actually specialized with tax law, because not all CPA are like they do tax law. A lot of them, they don't like to do so. And one tip here, not you guys go there like, so our CPA, my CPA, and your tax professional might not be even like graduated from school, not let alone like have a CPA. So it's accountant is different than CPA. So, and most of accountants are not CPA. It's just the term that you guys used to say. So, and you don't need a CPA unless you need to have an audit. And this is when you have to have a CPA. But you can work with a CPA, with accountant, with enroll agent, whatever that person is. If they are specialized and know the tax law, you can work with them and they put you first. So that you can work with them. Okay, enough with this. I can talk about this forever because I'm very passionate about helping you building your empire by taking very small steps into your success. So I can't wait to talk to my guests. I have two amazing guests today. They are very energetic, they are amazing, and I want you to watch them, hear from them, learn from them. It's whatever you do, you're gonna benefit from my next guest. So stay with me. This is Noura Almasri, and this is Echoes of Impact with Noura. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is your host, Noura Almasri, and this is Echoes of Impact with Noura. I'm really excited because we are talking today to an amazing branding consultant, not technically just branding consultant. She does amazing job making sure that you represent your brand. She's my friend, Talyn. Talyn, welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm great. It's so amazing to be back. Thank you so much for inviting me again, Noura.
Of course, it's always a pleasure to have you. And I think this is a perfect timing for you to be here because a lot of people now, as we're ending the year, they're looking at their brand, looking what works this year and what they're going to change for next year. And I think also this is about the time 2 years ago when we started working together. And, it did a great impact in my brand as in Noura's books. So I'm glad that you are here so we can talk to people and a lot of people can get more benefits. So you can tell them about like tips and tricks, and they can also reach out to you to work with you. So before we start, just like, can you introduce yourself a little bit? Tell them a little background for those who did not watch you in previous episodes.
My pleasure. So I'm Talyn Rahman Figueroa. I'm originally from London in the UK, and I am a trained diplomat, but I've been doing personal branding for about 15 years. I started my business originally working on the personal brands of politicians and diplomats. And then around about 2019, just before the pandemic hit, I moved to the United States. And that's when I pivoted from working with government officials to small business owners, because I'm in America and you guys are absolutely everywhere.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Now, like, how did you, I saw like on your website, and I've been watching your shorts on Instagram and YouTube, and you're saying, okay, your fairy boss mother. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I always talk about how you should take control of your personal identity. Your name is the one thing. it's your biggest asset. It's the thing that you should have the most control over. But of course, because my name is very foreign, very, very foreign, people can't tell where I'm from based on my full name. The Fairy Boss Mother nickname came about because the one thing that my clients tell me, Noura, is they're able to share a lot of their background, their history, their insight. And after an hour with me, I'm able to turn all of that idea into their backstory. And they always say, why, how come you've got that magic? How are you able to turn everything that I told you into this amazing, powerful story? And I guess that's how the Fairy Boss Mother came about, because I'm able to go inside your head, read between the lines, and I guess like do my magic. So I do this now. When I introduce myself, it's become a gimmick.
Yeah, and I can actually attest to that, saying you made me cry in my first talking to you, like to get that backstory, that brand packaging. So yeah, you are the fairy post mother indeed. So why did you decide to do small business versus diplomats? I know one of the things that I watched from your video saying like you're not in Washington, D.C., you are here, but why you could have gone like 100 other directions. Why small business owners?
Yeah, so that's a really great question, because I've worked with people with big money, big titles. When I used to work with these diplomats and ambassadors, a lot of the times, Noura, I couldn't even call them by their name. I had to give them a title. I had to call them Your Excellency or Your Highness or whatever that title was in society. So there was a very big divide between how close I could get to them versus how close they were allowing me to get inside of their history and their story. So when I moved to the US, my location, my geography is very important. I'm not in DC where I have access to governments. So when I noticed how there are small businesses absolutely everywhere, especially during the pandemic, so many small businesses were opening up. A lot of them were coming from the corporate world, and they were very removed from how small business owners should present themselves. In my line of work, Noura, in the world of diplomacy, you're not allowed to say I. You can't represent yourself. You have to say we.
Oh.
Small business owner, you have 100% control over your messaging, how you present yourself, and the kind of impact that you want to make to the people that you're trying to help. So a lot of business owners, they don't really understand that your business can actually make a huge impact. Forget about making money. Of course, you're going to make money, but then after you've made that money, what next? And that's where your personal brand is very important.
Nice. So talking about I versus we. So
Mm.
are you recommending them for personal brand not to say we?
If you're a business owner, do not say we, even if you have a team of people under you, because at the end of the day, your team can leave you. You're still representing your business. As a business owner, it's so important to say I, because you're giving your audience that direct eye contact. When you say I, you're breaking down the walls. The minute you say we, you're already creating that gap between you and your client. Of course, you want to work with your client and you want to earn their trust. Don't say we. The minute you start to say I, you're getting closer to them. And this is where you start to build genuine connection and genuine rapport with them, because you're breaking down that barrier from the very beginning.
Wow. I never thought about this, because a lot of people, including myself, thinking, okay, if we just say I and we have a team, they think that it's a one-man woman show. So they are afraid maybe like, okay, you're not going to give them the attention because you have so many other clients. So would you think that is valid? Like how to have that balance?
Yeah, it's easy. Just say my team and I. It's still I. It's still I, but you are the representative of your business. This is your business. So 100% own the fact that this is your business. Even if you have a team of people under you, that direction is coming from you, not somebody else. So you want to maintain that control as much as possible. And if your team member is servicing another client, you're still overseeing everything. So maintain that control by saying it's totally fine to work with a team. I have a team of people that work under me, but I still say because that direction is coming from me. That message is coming from me. My team is representing me and my brand. It's not the other way around.
Oh, I love that because I'm the person who always say we, and I just got coaching right there. Thank you.
Yeah, drop the we, just say go get closer to your clients because that's what you want.
Yes, awesome. Thank you, Talyn. So, and that's also bring your authenticity. So, what other ways also we can bring authenticity?
Yeah, so I had a really bad experience actually, Noura, which I'm happy to share. It's a very raw experience. It recently happened, but I noticed that every time when I made a mistake choosing people to work with, and these are experts in their field, I was always blinded by how much money they were making and all of their income claims and how they were able to scale up one business from making 5 figures to 8 figures, and those are the numbers that I was like, wow, if they can do that for them, they might be able to do that for me. But then I forgot to look at the red flags. And here are the red flags when you're looking at for who to hire for marketing or coaching or any sort of consulting. So I'm going to give you top 3 tips.
Sure.
The first tip to look out for is, do they have their own personal brand? Meaning, are they only on Instagram or only on Facebook? If they don't have a website, if they don't have Google reviews, that's a red flag because they're relying on one platform to sell themselves. The second platform is, okay, so they're making the money that you want to make, but what impact are they making, right? Which is a huge part of your show, is that impact. So after you make that 7, 8, 9 figures, if you're a millionaire, billionaire, what next? Are you going to still chase after that capitalistic dream? Or are you actually really helping change the lives of people that you're looking to help? Or is it just money? Because if it's just money, that's a red flag because there's nothing else behind what they're offering. And the third thing to look into is, how do they work with their team? Are the team members unhappy? Are there unethical things that the teams are doing, which is a little harder to look into. But if you're not feeling comfortable with the strategies that they're using and the timelines that they have, or any sort of milestones, anything that they promised, if there's any sort of if they're not able to answer those questions right at the beginning, that's a red flag because they're going to string you along. And next thing you know, you've just wasted a lot of time, money, and effort working with an expert and not delivering on the promise that they said that they would help deliver.
Awesome. Thank you so much for these tips because they're absolutely valuable, especially with the social media, seeing all these people like, I did this, I'm going to help you do this, and not understanding how is it going to go when you are involved with them. So what do you do to stay authentic?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a hard lesson that I've learned. So this, Noura, I'm able to get inside your head and really pull out the most important things about you that will matter to your audience. But you have to show the real you. You've got to be vulnerable. You've got to be real. You've got to be raw, and not just talk about, hey, I'm a tax professional or I'm a personal brand consultant. That's your tool. Just like a paintbrush is the tool for a painter, you never talk about your tool. You talk about the problems that you're fixing and the solutions that you bring. Now, I lost myself this year, honestly, Noura, because I was working with a team who were doing all of my content for me. They completely ignored my personal brand. They were using that shiny income claim, which I never talk about. I never talk about sales, but they were forcing me to talk about sales. It was a very sales-driven narrative. And I wasn't talking about things that were important to me as an individual. So starting this week, I'm going to be the real me on social media. So you better watch out. The real Talyn and the real fairy boss mother is going to come out. I'm going to be raw, I'm going to be hard, and I'm going to be really, really vulnerable to my audience, because that's the thing that you cannot copy. You can copy trends, but you can't copy your own personal experience and everything that life throws at you. Those are the things that people cannot copy. And that's the part that you should be sharing, no matter what industry you're in.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Talyn, for sharing all of this. How can people reach out to you?
So I have a brand new Instagram account. This is the Instagram account with all of the fake stuff. check it out and then check out what all the real content is going to be coming from me. So if you follow at Boss Diplomat, you'll find me on Instagram and YouTube, and my website is bossdiplomat.com. So everything is Boss Diplomat.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Talyn. I will have you again in the show because what you're bringing to the table is really valuable. Guys, this is Echoes of Impact, and this is your host, Noura Almasri. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is your host, Noura Almasri, and this is Echoes of Impact with Noura. We have a great show today because we have like people with great energy, and I'm sure you can feel their energy. I have my friend Rozetta William. Now we're gonna continue talking about board. We've been talking about the building blocks for an effective board. Today we're gonna change a little bit the subject, but we're gonna still talk about boards. Welcome back, Rozetta. How are you doing today?
I am wonderful, Noura. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being here, always available to talk to people, to share with them your wisdom and your experience about board building, grant writing, all of these great stuff for nonprofits. Tell us a little bit about yourself for those who did not watch you last time, so they can get to know you a little bit. And then after the show, they're going to go watch the previous episodes.
Exactly. Well, Noura, I'm Rozetta Williams, a grant writer, trainer, and consultant with over 20 years in the writing industry. So I founded Right Touch Consulting to help nonprofits and small businesses move beyond simply getting by, right? Through Right Touch Consulting, I'm able to partner with organizations to build sustainable strategies that secure funding and strengthen leadership so that they can make a lasting impact in their communities, right? Because that's what it's all about, building a foundation, and that was going to take you far. We want to build legacies here.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Like, what's the point if we're just doing something that really did not have an impact in the community, whether we're doing business, whether we are doing a nonprofit work. So we can make an impact wherever we are. So let's talk today about the red flags and the signs you would know in your organization your board is struggling. So let's talk about that.
Right. So, as I said before, my passion is really all about empowering boards to operate to their fullest potential. And so that is exactly why I'm so excited to be talking about the red flags today, so that we can help kind of navigate and mitigate some of these challenges that you may face as a nonprofit and as a nonprofit board. So there are 5 things really, but today I want to start with number 1, and that's the lack of clear roles, right? So the first red flag is not having the clear roles for your organization and their responsibilities for your board members, right? So when board members aren't sure about their specific duties, or this leads to all kinds of confusion. I like to think of that Abbott and Costello skit, Who's on First, right? He's like, no, who's on first? No, who's on first? And so when you think of it that way, that's kind of how it is when you come into a board or you join a board and there are no clear roles. People are wondering like, well, what am I supposed to be doing? What is the role that I'm playing? And how do I show up? So when you set yourself up to have an organization or a board that does not have these clear roles, it leads to inefficiency and sometimes even burnout, right? Because then you run into board members wearing too many hats because, yes, I am the treasurer, but I'm over here trying to lead all the committees, and then I'm over here trying to be the president. Yeah. No, that's too many hats. We need to be very clear, very concise about the roles that we are playing in the organization, or the roles that we've invited those to join our board to step into, right?
So in your experience and in your opinion, like, what do you have to do in order to make sure this is clear? Like, do you have to do a job description or what? What do you have?
Okay. Yes, thank you. So, of course, yes, I want organizations, especially nonprofits, to consider their board as like you're doing a whole hiring process. Not only do I want you to have a job description, I want you to have an application. I want you to allow those people that are coming onto your board to tell you how they can show up, to tell you where they, you know, where their passion lies. Because if you get that from them, then you are ensured that you are putting people in the right place, right? And they can show up with all their greatness without this like, well, I'm unsure and maybe I like this or and you're not just picking because you decided, well, you know what? Nora's in finance, so we're gonna make her the treasurer. Nora may be in finance, but she may have a passion for design. It's no telling. But if you don't ask, you don't know. And so by having those job descriptions, you are able to say, okay, here's what we are asking of you, requiring of you. Is this in alignment with what your passion is and what you really want to do, how you really want to show up?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. This is a great point because a lot of people, they are desperate, like they don't know, like, okay, no, I wish they accept to be in my board. And I think this goes to a self-worth sometimes because like, aren't you really confident of your brand, your organization? Like, do you think people don't want to be with you because you don't believe enough in the cause? So that's sometimes I feel like this is all come to self-worth. So that comes from also anything I produce, maybe people don't want to be in.
I think that plays a part in it, but I also think that when a nonprofit leader is asking someone to sit on the board, there's some fear and trepidation there, right? Because they already know that there's an expectation. I'm asking you to do this for free. I'm asking you to come sit on my board, bring great ideas, have put in some elbow grease sometimes, and I'm asking you to give money and be responsible to our organization fiscally as well. So there's this kind of fear that those people won't join the board. So you're kind of like, whatever you think you might want to do, please just come and do whatever you think you might want to do. And that doesn't work because then you get maybe sometimes too many chiefs at trying to do, or too many chefs in the kitchen trying to cook, right? And not enough people doing the survey or enough people doing the actual work. So it's a little bit of both, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. What other red flags do you say?
So poor communication, right? When you have poor communication, and this is across the board, whether it's between the board and the staff, or within the board or with the board and staff, you lead to misunderstandings. So then that kind of slows down how you are able to operate, right? You're not executing your mission and vision and effectively because maybe you're the only person who has a full, clear understanding of it, right? It leads to delays, lack of cohesion, and it slows the organization down at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So how can people avoid this? So let's help them like, okay, how can we do have communication? I believe miscommunication, not only with nonprofits, it's actually across the board, even in our personal life. Sometimes it's the root of each problem is miscommunication. So how in a nonprofit board, how do you think it would be best to avoid miscommunication?
So I like to invite my clients to, when you're having a board meeting, you first of all send out communications ahead of time, right? Hey, these are the things we're going to discuss. These are the things that are important. You also, this communication is also part of creating the culture. So if they come to the board meeting and they know exactly what you all are going to talk about, how you all are going to engage, then that gives them an opportunity to be prepared, to formulate questions, to even maybe bring up concerns. And then within that time, allow for the communication to be open and honest, right? It's not a dictator. This is a collective. So when people can say, hey, I noticed that this thing is happening, take the time, listen, hear each other, and really know that, hey, everybody is there for the same reason. Everyone has the heart for this organization. So let's allow ourselves and allow everyone to be heard. And this really falls into inclusivity, right? Once you are allowing your board to be heard, you are being inclusive of everyone that is sitting in the room, all the decision makers.
Mm-hmm. And how do you make a balance between really like communicate well and hear everyone, and also to be strict with the timing? Because like people say, always complain, okay, I'm doing this as a volunteer, it's taking so much in my my calendar. And also some people think, okay, I don't want to do this commitment because it might take so much time. So how do you do this balance? Like hear everyone, but still like don't waste people's time.
Of course, that's a great question, Noura, because there can be, I've seen a lot of board meetings that have been a great waste of time. So as I mentioned before, sending out communications ahead of time before the board meetings, having an opportunity to say, okay, there are certain things that we just won't need to talk about because we've already decided, we've already voted. Really being clear about, hey, this is, if there's new business on the docks, let's talk about that new business. If there are new concerns, let's address those. You know, if we made a decision last month and voted on something, let's not go back and rehash because somebody's not happy. It is then the opportunity to say, hey, I got questions. I want to address this. You know, be in that moment and be present so that you can ensure you're not wasting anyone's time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rozetta, for sharing all this wisdom. Before we leave, I want you to tell the audience what do you have coming up and how can they reach you?
Oh, okay. Well, October 10th, I have a Board Basics and Beyond, a free masterclass that will dive a little bit into, you know, what does it look like to have a lack of clear communication, or and even, you know, a lack of clear roles. So that is October 10th, and it will be, I believe, at oh goodness, 2:00 Central Time. And you can find me at www.righttouch.com, righttouchconsulting.com. And also you can follow me on Instagram at righttouch.consulting as well. So I'm a little bit of everywhere.
Thank you so much, Rozetta. Thank you for all the great information and the wisdom you're sharing with us. We'll see you in another episode to continue with talking about boards and other things that you always share your wisdom with us about. So thank you so much again. Guys, this is Echoes of Impact, and this is your host, Noura Almasri. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is your host, Noura Almasri, and this is Echoes of Impact with Noura. I hope you enjoyed what my guests went through. You listen to Talyn and see how personal branding is important and how important for you to be authentic. I would say this is very important for you to be authentic regardless of what you represent. Whether if you're representing your business, your nonprofit, your family, your club, whatever it is, you have to be authentic. Authentic to your values, authentic to yourself, authentic to the value of the institution you're representing. So you have to be authentic in order to attract the people who are really like will work with you, will make that you will be happy to connect with. So this is one thing. And if you're a nonprofit, I hope you get the idea of we are trying to give you about the board, because board is very important, but to know how to make an effective board is even more important. You've been watching Rozetta for this episode and previous episodes. Go ahead and watch more about what Rozetta shared with you in previous episodes. You can watch the episodes many times because we have them over there for you on the internet. So if you're watching us from the TV right now, you can go find Echoes of Impact on the internet, and you can watch the episodes again and write down what those people are sharing with you. We're bringing experts here, people who really have an experience with the thing that they're talking about here to share with you. We really want to help you get the value here. So I want you to take advantage of that. This is free information, guys. I know like some of you might not afford getting coaching or getting the services that we have or my clients have. So you want to make sure you are benefiting from what's available to you. This is free. Go ahead and watch Echoes of Impact episodes over and over. We do have a lot of contents right now, and you're gonna get a lot of results if you apply what I'm teaching you here along with my guests. So I'm trying to apply the tips that Talyn taught me today about using I, not we, because it's my show, right? So yes, so like every one of you, like use the tip. If you just watch without applying any information, you did not learn anything. Even if you heard it, you know it. If you are not applying and taking advantage of what you learned, you did not learn anything. That's what I tell my students when they come to my coaching, whether they are in the business coaching or in the nonprofit coaching. Sometimes they think, oh, okay, I didn't see a result from this program. Or like, okay, did you apply the strategies I taught you? No. Okay, of course, like because the program does not work on its own. You have to apply the strategies. When a clients come and do a tax plan, they don't apply the thing. They say, oh, okay, I didn't get any saving. Of course, because, well, it's not doing the plan, is implementing the plan what's going to get you the saving. The plan just going to help you make the right decision, do the right thing so you can see the result. And that's with everything, guys. So before we end today, I want to share with you something about nonprofit. I spoke to you about having year-end checklist, Q4, what you should do. Now, I spoke about business or even personal, like tax plan can happen for individual levels if you have been paying in taxes. And let me remind you, even with W-2, when you get that withholding, that's a taxes you are paying. So it's not just when you have to make the payment when you file your taxes, it's also what you pay during the year. So a tax plan can save you a lot in taxes. So you can get your money refunded to you. So make sure you're doing what you supposed to do. Now, I want to talk about nonprofit because nonprofit, I see you over there trying to get funding, but you are hopeless. You are struggling to get donors. You are struggling to get funding. You're not sure if you can support your beneficiaries, the people you created this organization for. And you keep doing the same exact thing, applying for grants, applying for grants. Well, I want you to stop right now if you are not ready. And not being ready is not you saying, I am ready. Well, are you really ready? You are ready if you already established the organization. You are ready if you are already having income, having donations, having like financially stable, but you just want this grant as an addition. This is when you are ready. You are ready if you are already doing your bookkeeping, you are already doing your fundraiser. And I'm not talking about the fundraiser event that's going to cost you tons of money, even when you bring sponsors. And then at the end, you get pennies and it's not going to help you do anything, maybe a few things. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about continuous fundraising. That's what you want to be doing. But before you start that, even ask yourself a question. Would you donate to your organization? if you were not involved? Would you donate to your organization? Would you trust that you're doing the right thing? Because remember, guys, you can put your donors in a big trouble if you're not doing the right thing. If you are not filing your taxes in a nonprofit, you're going to endanger your donors because they're not going to take the benefit that you promise because you have exempt status, but you're not going to do it because you lost your exempt status. Or maybe you're going to use their money to pay the big penalty, which is tens of thousands of dollars, just because you decided not to invest and in being in compliance. And believe me, guys, I've seen a lot of letters from the IRS to a lot of nonprofits. They come to me crying, we don't have this money. And they have like tens of thousands of dollars owed to the IRS just because they did not file their return. And regardless if you have activities or not, you must file your 990. Now, I want you to wake up and start the right thing now. Don't go take a vacation during December when this is the 30% of funding comes to support your organization, because you know what? A lot of people want to save in taxes. A lot of corporations want to save in taxes, and they're looking for you to donate to you. But if you are sleeping, no one's going to find you. No one's going to know that you do exist. Even if they know about you, they're going to donate for those people who are showing up, who are determined to win. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't take a vacation or you shouldn't have a holiday and celebrate the holiday. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying, you don't have to take the entire 6 weeks or 2 weeks or even the last 3 days of the year off. At least you alternate between you and your team. Have a system in place. Have people supporting you. Make it very easy for people to donate. One thing I want you to take advantage of, which is gonna be a great opportunity for you to really put your organization on the map and allow more donors to find you, is participate in Giving Tuesday, but participate in the right way. Have a strategy for that. And if you are confused and not sure how to do that, I have a challenge for you. I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that. Just go to profitablegivingtuesdaychallenge.com. profitablegivingtuesdaychallenge.com. And you will see all the information. You can join the challenge. The challenge is going to go from October 28th until November 1st. Every day I'll be with you on Zoom, teaching you the right strategies on how to build the campaign for your Giving Tuesday. I'm not teaching you the technical stuff. I'm teaching you the strategy so you can implement the technical stuff. Because anyone can Google the technical stuff, or you can have someone who knows how to do the technology thing. But if you don't have strategy, it's not going to work. You have to have the strategy. You have to have the right approach in order to be a winner. I helped a lot of organizations build their donor base. Since I started working with nonprofit, like 20 years plus, I did help them get more than $15 million in individual donations only, not counting grants. So you can win, you can get millions with just individual donors. Individual donations should make 70 to 75% of your organization. And that's a diversity on its own because multiple people will be donating to you. If you learn how to get those donors and maintain them and make sure they are loyal to you, you're going to just build your organization the right way. And you're not going to lose anymore. So make sure you sign up for that challenge. It's not free because when you pay attention, but it's very doable. You're going to be gaining a lot of knowledge, gaining those donors who are looking for you on the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. It's going to be December 3rd this year. And we're doing this few weeks before, so you have a time to implement. If you do it right, you're going to gain a lot of donors, and you can continue to work with them and to have them help you spread the word until the end of the year. And they will be with you for next year and the following year if you are doing the right thing. I'm going to teach you exactly how to do all of these. So make sure you join me, tell other people about it, give it a gift for someone who you know that's going to benefit from. Just do the work finally in this year correctly and be a winner this year if you want to win next year. All right? I can be talking about this forever, guys. I'm very passionate about helping you making an impact. I'm very passionate about helping you grow with your nonprofit, with your business, in your personal life. I want you to win. So wait for me every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central, and you can watch the episode again on Now Media TV. If you missed it, you can watch all the other episodes. Until next time, keep making an impact.
This has been a Now Media Networks feature presentation.